Good morning. We're here in the intersection of Thornycroft and King, and it's that time of year. We've had a pretty rough winter. As we all know, a lot of snow, and the combination of all those ingredients means really one thing: the roads are going to be in bad shape, and they are. I know there was a blitz over the weekend to fill some potholes, but this is emblematic across Staten Island. And we're here to really call upon the city to recognize the conditions of the roadways and also realign the interest in what really matters. You know, we have a situation where typically 200 lane miles are needed on Staten Island to be paved to keep them in relatively good conditions. The city is slated to pave about 150 miles of roads. So on the surface, we already know it's a problem. And you compare that, which is essential to the people of Staten Island, good roads, less potholes, good conditions, to what's happening in other areas of the city budget. For example, the Department of Homeless Services, we just saw the last couple of days, the city signed a $2 billion deal practically to house people in hotels, $330 a night, every night. Just think about that math. The homeless, forget about this thing that they're proposing in Charleston for the moment, that we'll keep fighting as much as we can. But the Department of Homeless Service budget is just growing tremendously. And yet, while they're increasing spending on things that people in Staten Island just generally don't support the way they do in the other parts of the city, we're getting the short end of the stick here. So it's up to the city to realign their interests, to put more money and more personnel into paving our streets, because if not, you're going to see conditions like this continue throughout the spring and into the summer. So let's put Staten Island first. Let's put Staten Island streets first. And when they're contemplating the budget over the next couple of months, put the people of Staten Island first and not second, as has been happening over the last few weeks from being shut out of the 2K program, getting proposed homeless shelters. We don't want them. You just keep adding it up, and Staten Island is getting the shaft, and it needs to stop, and it needs to change. That's what we're here for.
The question, I guess, why are we seeing this decrease in lane miles over the last few years? Is it cost efficient, and if so, is there any concern that given this budget gap and the whole thing going on with the city budget, that maybe the mayor and the city might not look and consider this? Is there a little worry about that? If it's about
it's a big worry. It's a big worry because everything that comes out of the city these days, it's more of these programs, free. Everything's free. And then they claim they have a budget gap, but yet we're spending $2 billion, $330 per night. I think a lot of folks in Great Kills who would like to get a voucher for $330 a night. So their spending priorities are just, to me, wrong-headed. And I think this is just part of this whole anti-car culture in the city. More bike lanes that we don't want, make driving as miserable as possible, and just take that money that we need and want and put it elsewhere. So today's the day. I hope for, again, in fairness, they had a crew over the weekend. They sent some folks out and they worked hard, but this is what we're dealing with here. And I don't think this is acceptable. Staten Island deserves better, and we hope they get it.